Alright boys, welcome back to another video. This video is going to be a trade recap of the trades that I took on Thursday where it allowed me to net a profit of 5k for the day on a fresh funded account. So yeah, I'm going to go into the trades I took because I actually went short here and then I went long here, and I'm going to dive into detail of why I was in those trades and what I was anticipating, so you guys can gain some massive insights and actually see the strategy that actually went into executing these trades. And for the poker watchers, guys think that I'm bullshitting, I'm going to put the proof right here. Just check the proof. And also, all of this was called ahead of the time. If you're on my free telegram, below I post free daily analysis, free weekly analysis, and I post like live outlooks of what I'm currently looking at trades. I actually posted this as I was taking it in that free telegram, so go join that and go check it out. But anyways, I digress. We're going to start with the short idea, and this is the recap, right? So basically, going into Thursday, I believe I was currently and have currently been bullish NQ for the past week or the last 2 weeks. Again, if you know in the telegram, I've been calling price higher on NQ for the last 2 weeks. It's been going to plan. And I know you might be thinking, well, you've been long, Gerald, and why would you want to be short here? And what made you see this as a shorting opportunity? And don't worry, I'm going to show you some key insights as we get further into the video. What I was essentially looking at and framing my long idea around was this, right? We can see that price being back and forth on this weekly opening gap, right? This old week opening gap. It's been quite salient in how price been behaving. Like every time price broke out of it and closed into it, it's always has shown this reaction to go above it. And I was actually saying to the telegram group that I want to see price go above it and actually stay above and hold above that new week opening gap, because that's going to be indicative of that. Okay, if we can close above this new week opening gap, then we can then start looking for potentially all-time highs and some strength coming into NQ. So I was looking for this all week, and then on Wednesday I saw that price made a low. So once I saw that low being made, right, and I saw price start to obviously positively go higher, and I saw price show strength in actually breaking out with a lot more volume out of this new week opening gap that's been currently fucking up price. Once I saw that, this confirmed, okay, there is strength in this market. I need to start framing longs. But then what happened? It broke out of it. Look, if it was bullish, this is the logic, and this is how it's going to make this trade make sense, right? If it's bullish, it should have held this range that it made here, and that should continue to produce higher prices, right? So think about this. On Wednesday, made the low just near the end of the AM session, went all the way higher, broke out, showing strength, and in the PM session, it started to reverse. Was anticipating a retracement so it could continue the price, because if it's bullish, now we've actually taken all that effort to break out this new opening gap that's been constantly holding price all week. We should see a continuation of willingness for price to start showing support, but it didn't. Look what happened. So it made that high in the PM session and completely reversed, giving back all that effort that it took to break out the new opening gap, actually taking out the current low of the week. So that gave me information. I was like, okay, if price was bullish, it shouldn't have came all the way back and actually gone back into the weekly new opening gap. There was no necessary. And even if it was going to go into the new opening gap, remember, if we're bullish, we anticipate the upper half of the new opening gap to support price. Price showed no support. It literally just blasted through the new week opening gap. So that was very telling for me that, okay, price is going to be bullish. And then what happened? Going into the new day, I saw price make a double bottom. So I was like, oh, this is suspicious. Starts to move higher. And I was already anticipating, okay, since we've closed below that new week opening gap, there should be some bearish nature of price now. Like, I'm not really trusting the longs, because it didn't have to come all the way back down here if it was going to be bullish, right? So that was the logic and the narrative behind this whole short idea. So going into the next day, right, I saw London predominantly just traded higher. So everyone's thinking, yes, buy. But I'm actually watching this. I'm saying, okay, there's double bottoms here. There's this narrative of buying that's being shown in the London. So I'm looking at it as like a Judas, right? And if you recall what ICT says that when you're day trading, lose the quadrant levels within the gap. So the 50, the 25%, the 75% levels within the gaps, they become your support and resistance, your true support and resistance when you're day trading, right? So as I saw this narrative being built, and after seeing like the equal lows in, and then I saw London just predominantly trade higher and then going into the New York session, I want to see some shorts in here because of this whole logic. We left the new week opening gap and traded back in, and the fact that we have these equal lows here. So that was the narrative within the short, and I was just waiting. Okay, I know the levels I should be anticipating to see support and resistance at, because I'm bearish. I'm anticipating to see resistance at these levels. I know you might be thinking, how did you know, Jared, that it wasn't gonna show rejection at this upper 25% level? You don't need to know that. That's the important part about waiting for confirmation. So I simply just waited for a key time of day, and then I just waited to see confirmation that price was willing to trade lower. So what happened? As you can see, price traded into the upper end of that new week opening gap, and then that's when it showed confirmation in terms of actually shifting to the downside. And we can zoom in and see what happened here. And as you can see, price tapped into the upper end of that new week opening gap, showed a break in market structure, and then that's when I entered short. So it was the right time of day. I've seen price retraced into a key level where it could find resistance at. Price showed me it's finding resistance at that level by breaking the market structure, and we actually had an inverse fair value gap here, whatever you trade, but I predominantly trade market structure, right? So that was a key confirmation that, okay, price is ready to go low. And what was my target? Those equal lows. And I was looking at that, and I actually put that in. I was like, okay, target, look at those equal lows. I'm going to put a screenshot off that from my Telegram right here. I'm going to put a screenshot of what I actually call this. So I was in short around here. I'm going to put the trade right here as well. Entered short, and then at 9:30, price retrades again. Never goes above my stop loss, because my stop loss was above here, was above the gap, because the idea is that if price is bearish and it's already showing me a break in structure, it shouldn't have to go above this height. It doesn't need to go anymore. If this is the last point, it should find resistance. And then price just absolutely melted. I risked 20 points on this trade. I think it was like, yeah, 80, yeah, it was like a 20-point stop loss. Profit was like 200 points. So it was like a 1-10 trade, and that was like the majority of my profit for that day. And then obviously I went long around this level here. And why did I go long at this level? I was actually looking at this. I was thinking that, okay, my bullish idea is not entirely off the table, so this potentially could be a low of the week, right? If we're just showing all the strength, price could come down, take out these equal lows. Cool. This should just be a fake out, just to then proceed to trade price higher, right? So then I went long around here. I'm going to put that trade up here as well. I went long around here with my stop loss just at the low here, anticipating a retracement from price, because thinking that this is just a flush out. I actually called in the Telegram again. I don't know why you're not in there, saying that it'll be interesting to see if price makes a low here and we actually start trading all the way back up to that, was it 25.868 level. And then as price progressed as well, even called a trade here as well. It was a nice PM session. We did a little tape reading in the Telegram where I told guys to pay attention to certain levels. Price did exactly what it was doing. And I also used the 30% rule. If I'm continuously making a profit, I want to keep continuously risk 30% of my P&L until I start taking too many losses, and then I'll stop for the day. But because sometimes you can be in a winning flow and then just say, okay, I'm done for the day, but then you might be leaving money on the table. So then I have a 30% rule. Continuously risk 30% of your P&L until you take maybe 1 or 2 losses, and then you stop for the day. Now I use that to actually climb my P&L all the way up to 5k instead of just stopping at like 3k profit. And I know these markets have been so shit lately. This week has been crazy. Of course, you guys have to consider that there's holiday volatility within the market. You have to tread carefully. We're still able to call price, but it's very, very high resistance conditions right now. So you have to tread carefully when you're trading price at the moment. You can see how price is going back and forth, and it's like a fucking whipsaw. And funny enough, on Wednesday, I actually ended up passing some Apex accounts. So I bought some Apex accounts, right? I bought 3 just to test the waters, because I know what time of period we're in. It's not the highest probability conditions. But I bought 3 Apex accounts just to take advantage of their discount, right? Because they have the craziest discount running at the moment. So yeah, I bought 3 Apex accounts because why wouldn't you want to buy Apex accounts right now? You can literally get an eval for $20. So I was just testing Apex. I bought 3 accounts, passed them. I'm going to show you the charts in a minute for the trades I actually took yesterday on Friday's trading, right? But literally $20 an eval, right? You can't go wrong. All in $86. Like, it's the upfront cost to Apex right now, and it's running out, of course. So be sure to use code Geraldtrades at checkout to be able to activate the special offer. Get $20 for eval. Load them up. Apex allows you to have reserves, I believe. So load up these accounts. Normally, buying 10 accounts would cost you like $800, but right now buying 10 accounts is going to cost you $200. Buying 20 accounts is going to cost you $400. Well, it cost you like $1,600 before. So yeah, this is the best time to be buying Apex accounts. But I bought 3 accounts just to see, test the water. I passed 3, fucked one up, and then currently this is what my Apex accounts are looking at from yesterday's trading. Actually passed. I'm actually going to load up more accounts actually and set myself up for the next year, for the next trading year, so I can actually go into maybe do an Apex run. We'll see how it goes, but currently looking at a profit of 1400 for the day from yesterday's profit. So yeah guys, go load up on Apex accounts if you're looking to try to get into Apex. This is the best time. It's the cheapest time to get into them, and then you can start looking to trade them into the new year if you want to trade them to the new year. But then this is the best time. It's not going to be cheaper than this. I don't see them making them cheaper than this after here for a while. So go check that out. Code Geraldtrades at checkout, and I'll keep you guys updated with these Apex accounts as I'm buying more and as I build it up. If I get fucked, I get fucked. Hey, it doesn't really matter, innit? But anyways, if you want me to do a breakdown of these trades as well that allow you to net a profit of 1400, just let me know and I'll do a breakdown of that as well. I highly recommend you go watch my bias video. I'm going to link it here. Go watch that playlist of 25 Days of Christmas where I'm posting some super gems. I'm going to link the playlist here. Go watch the bias videos. It's going to go into detail about how to figure out bias and how to figure out what price is most likely to do next. Gonna link that here. Go check that video out. Let me know in the comments below if you found value in this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.